Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Thinkficial virtual meetup. We have this meetup every last Saturday of the month, and today we are having an interesting topic, just like we did last month. So today we are looking at a very interesting topic, just like we did last month. We were looking at a topic around AI in the content creation in the era of AI tools. Some of us were not in that call, and then we have the session recorded and it's on our YouTube channel. And also today's call too will be recorded and it will be uploaded on our YouTube channel in case you want to share it with someone else, or you want to catch up with any of our virtual meetup. If you are not available, you can actually get a look at it. So basically, Thinkficial is a tech company. We offer courses in tech, and then we do training. We build solutions, digital solutions across web, mobile, and then we also have support for businesses. If you want to advertise, you want to market, you want to run markets, digital marketing for your businesses, you can actually reach out to us. So today's event, our meetup for today, we are having a seasoned network engineer. We'll be looking at network engineering career in the era of AI tools like AI, like robots. Now everything is almost like automated. Systems can do this thing. So we want to hear from the horse's mouths. I think that's how they usually put it. So with us, we have Luis Ezibokwe. He is a seasoned network and systems engineer based in Lagos with over 5 years of hands-on expertise architecting, deploying, and securing enterprise-scale network infrastructure. He's currently serving as network systems engineer at WIOOCC Group. He's driven a 40% performance uplift through strategic firewall and switch upgrades, led the rollout of site-to-site and remote VPNs, and championed network access control initiatives. Prior to this, Luis managed Meristem Security's entire network estate, tuning OSPF, GRE tunnels, and PRTG monitoring to boost uptime, and has held progressive roles in systems administration and tower site support. He holds a Bachelor of Technology in Library and Information Technology with a second-class upper, that's a very huge one, and an array of certifications including CCNA, AWS, ITIL, ENS, DANG, come on, and lot, and Fortinet SNE 123, reflecting his commitment to continuous learning and network innovations. Ladies and gentlemen, with a standing ovation and a favorite icon, can we make welcome Mr. Luis, the network engineer? Please, just go ahead, just put some emoji. Yeah. Thank you for joining us, sir. Thank you. So you have the floor, sir, Luis.
Good evening, everyone. Please, if I'm audible enough, you let me know. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, we can hear you.
Okay, it's a pleasure to be here, Sir Ralph. I really appreciate the opportunity to be speaking to your audience. Thank you so much for the opportunity you've given me. So today, just like Mr. Ralph has mentioned, we'll be looking at network engineering career in the face of AI. What has AI come to do in this age? So as a little brief intro into what had been said, that means I'm standing on the existing protocol. So I think when he was introducing the company, he said WIOCC, so it's WIOC actually. So currently I serve as the systems and network engineer at WIOC Group, which is a multinational. It's a telecom conglomerate across 11 countries in Africa and 2 in Europe and 1 in Asia. So first, that aside, we'll be looking at network engineering and what the birth of AI has come to do in this age. So without further ado, let's go into the business proper. For the sake of those who are not technically inclined, because when we have webinars such as this, there are tendencies that there are newbies into the field. There are those who certain terms might not sound explanatory to. So we need to break them down in simple layman's language. So first we need to digest or demystify the concept of network engineering, then who a network engineer is, what AI is, and how has AI been an enabler or a break to the network engineering space. Please, at this junction, I would like to also ask again if you can all hear me, so I proceed. Thank you. So now, what is network?
Yeah, I can hear you.
So what is network engineering? Just as we know, it's just the science of designing and building digital pathways that connect devices such as data centers, servers, stores, users, etc. It covers everything from physical cabling and switching infrastructure to the protocols and software that enable reliable and secure communication, right? So in layman's language, network engineering is just the ability or the science behind two laptops, two PCs communicating to themselves. The idea behind you as a Facebook user in Nigeria communicating with someone else in the US. That is just network engineering, right? Now, so who is a network engineer? Simply the professional behind that science. The person who is responsible for planning, for implementing, for designing, for troubleshooting network system. That's who a network engineer is. So in and it goes beyond that because while we mention network, I don't want to really go down to the base flow because in trying to demystify what that keyword network means, we're going to touch on the different components or devices that makes up a network. We're going to touch on a lot of things. So just to to just touch few of them, I'm going to say so part of the duties of a network engineer involves configuring routers, switches, firewall, access points, wireless controller, um firewall, and the rest, ISPs and the rest, to ensure optimal performance, through monitoring and tuning, right? So part of it usually involve all of this, and it also goes beyond hardware, software, and humanware. Now we also need to also break down the classes of network engineers because the field is so interwoven, so complicated that a lot of people do not know that telecom engineers are also called network engineers in certain way. They are. So for any time you see a telecom mask, just like MTN mask, Airtel mask, and whatever, know that a network engineer is the professional behind the functionality, behind the operation of such infrastructures. So we have different categories of network engineers. So we have the network operation engineers. Such people, they focus on the daily support, monitoring, and incident response of network systems. Then we also have the network design engineers, those who are in charge of the design. They design both the topology, the capacity, and they evaluate new technology before they are being implemented. Also, we have network engineers such as the security network engineers. So these are the people who are in charge of designing and administering the firewalls, the VPN, the IDS, the IPS, the zero trust segmentation, the DNS security, and all of that. These are the security network engineers. Then we also have the wireless network engineers, just as I mentioned earlier. Those are the tower technicians, those who are in charge and manages, the cell towers, the Wi-Fi's, the 5G lights, the private LTE networks, and all of it. Every day we consume in network products, even without our awareness. For every waking day, we consume network products without our awareness. Because the ability for your mobile phone to receive a 5G or a 4G light signal from the closest cell tower closest to it is the handiwork of a network engineer. Then we also have the next category of network engineers, which we call the cloud network engineers. So these people, they are in charge of managing and maintaining virtual networks existing in AWS, in Azure, in Google Cloud platforms, and the likes. All they do is they configure, maintain VPCs, VPNs, and hybrid connectivity amongst these infrastructures. And we have data center network engineers, right? So this is where I play the data network. Now the data center. So the data center are those who specialize in spine and leaf architecture. They do more of virtualization, EVPN and fabric automation. So for every IT product you enjoy, there is a network engineer behind it. Think of it: YouTube, Facebook, Google, Microsoft. For every IT product you enjoy, there is a network engineer behind the wheel of that solution, which is why we are almost irreplaceable. This field will live on for the next 100 of years, right? So now, the next question that might come to your mind is, given the rapid evolution of AI, and with the way we know and we see online how AI is, rendering a lot of roles, particularly tech roles, redundant or surplus to requirements. And one would think or say, what is the face or what's the fate of network engineers in a time such as this? I know this is a question that a lot of people might have lost in their mind, and they want to hear from the horse's mouth of someone who is experienced in the field to tell them that, hey, calm down, you'll be relevant even in the next 50 years, right? So now, first, before we even go into the role of AI, we first need to understand the term AI. We need to first understand what is this, two letters AI, and how does it either make or mar the network engineering field. So AI simply is just the ability for machines and computers to mimic human behavior. Simple and short. Right? So it could exist in diverse form. Just the ability for machines or humans or computers to mimic human behavior. So machines first ought to be taught human behavior via data, and then they learn to use that data to troubleshoot and make informed decision as a human would. That's just what AI does. So if we understand that this is what AI does, then we know that we were the first AIs. Humans were the first AI. There's no better brain out there. There's no better machine out there than the humans who even invented the AI in the first place. So how then can a machine who was invented, say, 20 years ago, render a human who has been in existence for over 40 years surplus to requirement or redundant? That's the question I want to put out there. How come? It's not possible unless the human decides not to evolve with the flow of time, right? So, because AI is only productive and effective with the aid of humans. First, it needs to be fed with data. Where does those data come from? They are being fed by the humans because AI does not generate its own data by itself. It needs to be fed. For example, the most popular AIs which we know and which we use in almost in our everyday work is ChatGPT, Gemini AI, some use Deep Freeze and the likes of that. The internet has to be downloaded into those AIs first. After being downloaded, then those AI can now fetch information from the internet data that has been downloaded to it. Who downloaded those internet to it? Humans, the network engineers. So if you begin to understand your place and your position in things, then you begin to see what has the power to either affect you or not. So first is we need to know our place in this field, network engineers. We need to know the extent to which AI can impact us, can impact our daily lives, and areas where they can't. As a matter of fact, there are still dynamics to network engineering that AI would not touch in the next 10 years. For example, cables. So, because part of the classifications of network engineers, includes the deep sea cabling. So because we enjoy internet in this part of the world in Africa, I would like to tell you first that your internet which you enjoy comes from an undersea cable that flows all the way from Europe, right? Now, which AI would withstand the cold at the bottom? Speaking about the areas of network engineering where AI would not affect even the next 10, 20 years, I was speaking on deep sea cables. These are high running, high bandwidth, high upscaling fiber optics cable running at the bottom of the sea. No AI, no machine will go to that depth to repair cables when they are faulty. Only humans can do that. And this area is also a class or a category of network engineering. So if you know the area of network engineering you play in, and you know the impact AI could play in such role, then you know that AI would not take away your job from you. You will know that. So proceeding, now we want to look at the roles of network engineering in the age of AI, right? Now, for me and for most of us who know, I would say AI is simple and enabler. AI is designed to make work easy, not to take away the work from you, if only you know how to use it. Now we see AI being integrated into data analytics, we see AI integrated into server systems, we see AI integrated into IoT systems, embedded system, programming, and what have you, robotics and the likes. Even in cloud AI, you see AI right now in it. And you begin to wonder if AI will take away your job. No, it will only enable you to even deliver on your job. Example of such application is, in data pipeline for AI. As I mentioned earlier, AI needs to be fed with data. If it wasn't fed with data, it can mimic human behavior, because human behavior is something he needs to learn. And for a fact, every day we wake up, we also consume AI products. For those of us who uses iPhone, the moment you say Serial, do this, play music, Serial, open Google, that's you using AI. Yes, it's only making you, or it's only making your work easy. If you had not issued that command to Siri, Siri won't respond to nothing. He will lie there, dormant, redundant, doing nothing. So AI needs instructions to be fed to it. It needs data to be fed for it to even make a move. Right now, also another application of or the another application of the role of network engineers in the age of AI is in the automation of network operations. Such as we have driven telemetry, how AI has helped us to diagnose more quickly and timely, in the sense, as opposed to the conventional way of trying to troubleshoot from your layer 1 to your layer 7, with the application of AI such as Copilot and the X-rays. You can see from a single dashboard the faulty areas, the flags where you need to troubleshoot, where you need to correct your configurations, and everything begins to work properly. As opposed to trying to now go through the 7 layers of the OSI, trying to troubleshoot to know where and going through the 7 layers means you need to go after the other, and time is being wasted in the process of solving that issue. But AI has come to make your work easy. A good example was a case of me trying to configure IDS for a particular client, and because the client already uses Cisco Duo, and for some reasons they've not been able to configure it for some time, and I happen to come into play. Now, what AI would help me do, or what AI did, was first to analyze their current or their existing infrastructure, and to recommend policies to me that which I need to apply. In less than 2 hours, I was done with that configuration. Ideally, that would have taken me a full day to get to set that particular thing up. But in less than 2 hours, I was done, and that job was done, and I left the premises. This is how AI has helped me in solving my immediate need. How AI has helped network engineers in solving their daily needs. Another application of AI is using securities, implementation of the zero trust, segmentation and all of that. Even access lists, policies, and the likes. In today's network, particularly in the Cisco world, if you happen to use Cisco Duo, Meraki, AI will even recommend policies for you to apply. Just by making analysis of your current infrastructure, it recommends certain policies for you to use, and you apply them and you're okay. You don't even, AI has made it so easy to the point that you do not need to be that knowledgeable to operate certain things. You don't need to be that knowledgeable to even take up certain roles. Unlike, where 30 roles demands cognizant 7 years of experience. You would see people who have 3 years of experience, but with the use of AI, they're able to manage those roles, and they manage it effectively. Why? When they have any troubles, they run to AI. For example, ChatGPT. A lot of us, because the networking space is a space where you learn every day, it's a space where you never can quit learning. For every level you get into, there's milestones to learn, and for every day a new problem, the next day a new problem. So you never can know it all. Now, AI has helped me in a certain way that in fact, I will tell you for a matter of fact that ChatGPT is my friend. For every day, as soon as I open my laptop to start work, I have ChatGPT by the side. For instance, I encounter a problem that I have never solved my entire life, or that I have no clue how to go about it. I just ask Chat with certain prompts. This. What does it mean? How do I go about it? And it gives reasonable answers from which I can pick up and get started with how to troubleshoot the particular problem. These are little things AI does for us. So, like I said earlier, AI is here to enable us. It's an enabler, not a breaker. Yeah, and I've seen people who deploy AI in writing scripts like Python, JavaScript, all of that. But the only restriction with AI is AI is not an all-knowing system, so it also needs intelligence to be used. You have to know to certain degrees to use AI, right? Because following AI verbatim will be a blind man leading a blind man, because in the first instance, humans existed before AI. So how come AI would be the one leading humans? So you need to first know to be able to use AI intelligently. Now, that's the role of network engineers in the face of AI. And a couple of others is the application of AI in writing or generating professional CVs. Writing SOPs for those who wants to migrate to the European countries. Writing of essays, all of that, like academics. Yeah, for those who do paraphrasing work and all of that, yeah, they use AI. These are the use of AI in our everyday lives, right? And we see this unfolding every day, and some of us are scared how this can take away the very thing that drops food on our table. Now, the big question is, will AI replace network engineers? Now, I don't speak for other fields of IT because I don't know them too well. But the one for which I am into, which I know too well, I can say categorically no. Because AI, basically what it does is just automating repetitive tasks, e.g., baseline configuration, routine monitoring, anomalies detection, crafting architectures, all of that. That's just basically what AI does. So you just run your script through AI to fish out the error, and it flags the particular line or the command and tells you here. All you need to know is, using your head knowledge, know the appropriate command to apply, and that issue is fixed. So AI is more of an enabler, not a breaker. Now, if we also proceed further, AI augments network engineers. It helps us to handle mundane chores, allowing us to focus in innovations, design, and cross-team collaboration. Because AI does not think for itself. So if I want to write a script, I have to go to, for example, maybe Olama or say Grok AI and said, please write me a script to add a certain variable to this. I need to key in the command. AI will not do that by itself, right? Now, for repetitive tasks such as creation of variables, creation of class and object, AI can be used to do that automatically. And if you talk about in the network space where we have automation and use of Python, AI is used to write all those repetitive tasks such as creation of VLANs, creation of hostname, creation of IP address. It can be used to do all of that. But the thinking, the out-of-box thinking, the design, the cross-team collaboration, AI cannot do this. Because first you need to discuss with someone what they need to achieve. You need to understand the flow, how they want the system to be designed, because for every system, different perspectives. AI cannot play in such spaces. Again, this emphasizes that AI could only take away certain roles, not all. So if you know where you fit in, as I've mentioned earlier in this space, in the network engineering space, you would know that AI is not a threat to you, but instead it's an enabler. It's a must grab skill, if I would say. And if you watch the current holding of things in the recent trend, you see big houses like Cisco, AWS, now Azure and Oracle. They've now put out certifications in AI, specializations in AI. So it's now a new part that, such as you have the network security, the network data center, the network wireless, the network collaboration, the rest. You now have the network AI. So it is creating even more opportunities, even more areas of learning, more fields of certifications for people. So it's more of good and not of evil. Like, pardon me if I'm too biblical right now, but that's what AI does, right? So question is, what is it or what is in for network engineers? Like, okay, given the current trend, given the current position of things, what is in for me as a network engineer? What do I stand to gain? How do I position myself? What am I supposed to do in the current age of AI? First is, you need to upskill yourself. Yeah, you need to upskill yourself, um, in the areas of AI, because as mentioned, new certifications are coming up in AI, and these are in-demand skills. You know, almost everything is going towards AI, and employers of labor are looking at those who have AI knowledge, AI skills, to make their workflow more automated and the likes. And you must go with the current flow of things. So it is a call on network engineers to upskill themselves so as to grasp these opportunities that are currently available in the AI space. Another thing, network engineers need to look out for is emerging roles, because just as I've mentioned, we have the categories of network engineers, we have the network security engineers, we have the data center network engineers, and all of that. We now have the AI network architects, we have the AI solution architects, we have the cognitive infrastructure engineer, automation engineers, and all of that. These are roles that network engineers can take up and fill, right? So it depends on what drives you and what you want to achieve in life. That's basically what propels your path. If you want to keep on with the current flow of things, then you have to pick up AI. There's no two ways about it, because AI has come and it has come to stay. There's no going back to it, or there's no going back from it. It is here and it is here to stay. And another thing which you also look out for is that AI boosts productivity. Using AI, driven toolkits, to accelerate troubleshooting, as I mentioned earlier. We don't need to do things manually as we do before. We don't need to troubleshoot based on OSI models as we do before. All you need to do is just attach a script, or use your Copilot if it's in Microsoft 365, or use your Traces if it's in Cisco Duo, and you dictate the command line or the particular line where the error is, and you fix it, and you're good to go, right? So now it is left for the network engineers to not be dormant, but to take up these skills, as I've mentioned earlier, and to ensure that they go with the current flow, right? So and the last part is the strategic impact of AI in production. So from the transition, from reactive firefighting to proactive network optimization and business driven innovations. For example, how we've transitioned over time from network and switches. Now we'll not transition to the cloud, and even from the cloud now we are transitioning to AIs and all of that. So strategic impact. We know for every transition there's a benefit, which is why we are transitioning. There's a pro, there's a con, but there's a benefit. So it is left for the network engineers to key into the current flow and to maximize the use of any existing or involved technology to the best of their use. And that's all I've come to say tonight. So given all that has been said, I would like to know if maybe there are questions, if there are gray areas, if there are doubts, because I believe here on this call we have aspiring network engineers, we have those in the field, we have those in other fields of IT, and yeah, there are some names that I recognize here, and I know some are in the maybe data science space and data analysis space. Maybe they are thinking through transition into network engineering, and they don't know what network engineering is all about. Yeah, so I think it is at this junction you can ask your questions, and I can help clarify to the best of my knowledge.
All right, thank you very much, Sir Luis. Please, can we just appreciate Luis for this very awesome stuff? When you begin to hear AI, people who are not in the field, they begin to tell you that, well, AI is going to take over, AI is going to take over. But AI is just a tool, just like he has mentioned now. So it's depending on your posture and how you are intending to go into it. So if you have any questions, so we can have, I know he has a very busy schedule, and so you will not be able to spend much time, but we really appreciate that. So if you have any question, please just indicate. Okay, yeah. So I guess we don't have questions. So on behalf of the manager, I want to appreciate Mr. Luis. Thank you very much for giving us your time, for speaking to us about network engineering and then how we can optimize our career using AI tool. And thank you also for taking our time to join us on the call. And thank you also for all our participants. Thank you all for joining the call. And so, like we usually do, I'm not able to access the link. Our host is not in the call today. So you can join Thinkficial on YouTube, on Instagram. I'll just type the name there. You can search for it on any platform. So this is Thinkficial. So you can search for it anywhere. And if you have a business you want to reach out to us for, maybe you want to build a website, you want to build a mobile app, or you want to do consulting, you want to recruit for a particular role, or you want to be able to, you are looking for somebody to manage your social media pages for your organization or for your business, you can actually reach out to us via the email, or you can search for Thinkficial on the internet. You will see our website, Instagram, X, and LinkedIn, and then Facebook and other platforms that we have our content rolled out. So just like we have today, next month, August, is still another session, our virtual meetup. You want to stay tuned so you know what next is coming up. And then until next time, bye everyone. Thank you for joining the call.